asking you about being down here when we had 5,000 machine tool jobs, wasn't it?
In the early 70s, there were 6,000 machine tool
6,000
jobs, union jobs.
Yeah, so, when I began, I was a Windsor County State Senator, and it's just remarkable to me. We had just the forces of globalization had a huge impact on American manufacturing, and this was the heart of manufacturing, and Springfield was a very vibrant, critical city. And then, of course, through forces completely beyond its control, the machine tool industry went into significant decline. And that hurt Springfield. And now what we're seeing is folks who are committed to Springfield, who love Springfield, who know the potential that is still here, working hard to revitalize it and to be at the Woolson Block and to have seen what that had deteriorated to and how much it's improved. And there's folks living upstairs, and you've got a beauty salon right there on the corner, and 3 new commercial spots that we hope folks will fill really soon. To see the co-op right across the street that people love shopping in, it's really a testament to real economic revitalization and also local commitment. And one of the things that you guys know, I'm not disclosing any state secrets, but Washington's pretty messed up. But we did manage with COVID. Everything Springfield's been through, all of us have been through COVID, and it really shut a lot of operations down, especially performance places or movie theaters where nobody could come in until we had a vaccine and got vaccinated. So a place like this beautiful cinema had to be among the first to close down and the last to reopen. And what Washington did do was come up with money to help protect our businesses and our individuals and our performance spaces. And the federal government is the only entity that has the fiscal capacity and the fiscal flexibility to provide the aid that was really, really needed. One of the concerns that I had, along with Senator Amy Klobuchar in the Senate, was what happens to our performance spaces. Because as I mentioned, the first closed, last to reopen. And a concern that we both had was that, when we get to the other side of COVID, if we haven't provided some help to these places that have become local institutions and mean a lot to community life and the vitality of local communities, then we're going to have an impoverished community. People won't have the movie theater to go to. And this is a really good example because there's a lot of love in this theater. There's a lot of attention to detail. And I'm hearing about how people come from far away for the special experience of being here. So the Shuttered Venues Act, which we co-sponsored, was included with $16 billion into one of the aid packages that the federal government passed. And as I understand it, some of the money that was intended to help places like this cinema found its way to your cinema, right?
Yes.
And made a difference, and you can speak about that. But what I find so important is that coming out of COVID, we have to help individuals, we have to help businesses, and we have to help communities, because all of us have to come out on the other side, and we're on the other side. So I'm really delighted that among the funding that we were able to pass in the Senate, with Ernie and Patrick very much playing a big role, is the Shuttered Venues funds that found its way to help some of our local venues like Springfield Cinema. So Chad, do you want to say anything?
Yeah.
We're here with Chad and your wife and son.
Yeah,
So cool.
and son, yep. And
It's a
my other
family operation.
one's actually running our theater in Keene. So we have two separate businesses. First and foremost, I'd like to thank you and Fauna. You guys have been great through this whole process. We talked back in November.
Yeah, remember that.
Yeah, and just get theaters incorporated into it. And it's super important. And then I have to thank Laura, Ryan, and Bill Morlock, who are such staples in the community, for this partnership with the theater. It would have been impossible to continue through the last year because we live in Vermont. We've been able to be a little bit more open than others. It's super important that the partnership that we've had for years just works so well. They're absolutely great. You know, I'm on both sides of the coin. It's funny, the grant is going to save and help so many businesses downtown, and a few of you guys know how important this one is. It's no overstatement to what we bring from outside communities, what we do for every community, and that goes for any Main Street or small cinema. We're not talking about just cinemas, we're talking about restaurants, we're talking about shops, things that depend on this, and we can't continue to look online for everything. We still have to have a home to go home and enjoy our day-to-day lives. You know, being on both sides of the coin, we're funded here, which is going to help us get us through another 18, 24 months. And why I say that is because theaters have been hit so hard because of the corporate outreach of studios going to streaming and things, but comedy clubs and all these other things that are so vital to nightlife and enjoying life are going to be helped by this grant. You know, we're still waiting for it in Keene, and that's something that we're going to make sure that will push us forward, because like I said, the most important thing is this art form and so many art forms open the door for people who don't understand how to communicate necessarily, but it opens up something in their eyes to see it. The arts are the most important thing in the world, you know, in my opinion. They always have been, because they create creativity and create new pathways. So I'm thankful for your hard work. You know, we got a lot more work to do, especially with making sure all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted, but that's the story of everybody's,
Right. That's
yeah,
right.
you know,
Thanks, Chad.
everybody's journey.
Thank you. It's remarkable what you guys have all done. Pretty cool. Jessica?
Yeah, well, I can, echo what Chad has said. I mean, he grew up in Springfield, and the theater, I can tell you, did not look like this growing up. And you can see the pride that Chad and his family take in this theater, and it is a destination. People come to Springfield for this, and so having that funding to be able to keep them going has been phenomenal for them, because they are an integral part to our downtown. And they are supportive of the downtown, and I just can't say enough about this theater. I think Chad sold himself a little bit short though, because not only do they have movies here, they also rent out their theater spaces for events. And so, they do think outside the box, which to me is really important, especially during these challenging times. So, Springfield on the Move, we're just in the designated downtown area, and we also benefited from federal funding, the PPP first and second round funding we received. The first round we got forgiven, and I can tell you that had we not gotten that funding, in particular, I would not have been able to continue work throughout last year with the Woolson Block building project, with the construction and making sure that the commercial spaces, it was really important, because we made some adjustments during construction last summer during COVID, to be able to think outside the box, to be able to try and market these spaces in the future economy, which is still a little bit unknown. So I can't say enough for this federal funding that has made its way into Springfield's downtown area, so thank you.
Very much. All right. So great success event here. It's really cool what you guys have done. Thank you.